Good morning, good morning. Good morning, boys and girls. Thank you for coming in so attentively and for being here with us on this special occasion. The official name, I guess, of this is Celebration of Excellence, and we have been a part of this for the last several years, and we're very excited this morning to have some special guests with us. I want to recognize two of our board members that are here this morning, Mr. Derek Holmes and Dr. Felicia Gavin. We appreciate you being here with us this morning. And, of course, all of our building principals are here or en route coming to be a part with us, along with some of our directors in our district. We're thrilled this morning to have our State Superintendent, Dr. Carey Wright, with us this morning. Dr. Wright became State Superintendent for Education in 2013, and under her leadership, Mississippi has initiated aggressive education reforms that have increased literacy skills in pre-K through third grade. She's pushed student achievement on the National Assessment of Education Progress, we call it NAEP, to improve at a faster rate than most other states, and increased the graduation rate from an all-time high to an all-time high of 83%. Dr. Wright has spearheaded initiatives in Mississippi that nearly doubled the advanced placement, participation, and success rate, resulted in significant annual gains in English language arts and math proficiency, and earned Mississippi recognition from the National Institute for Early Education Research as one of only 5 states in the nation that meet most quality standards for early childhood education. You know, students, a lot of times in our state, you hear Mississippi and you hear people talk about Mississippi in not good terms, maybe not in the highest regard, but as regards in education, Mississippi is on the rise, and Mississippi is, you need to be proud to be in this state, proud to be a part of education system here in Mississippi. Dr. Wright is past president of the Board of Directors of the Council of Chief State School Officers and is a member of the Chiefs for Change. Students, administrators, help me give a good Clinton welcome to Dr. Carey Wright, our State Superintendent.
Well, good morning. It is great to be here at Eastside Elementary. Thank you so much for hosting us today. This is always a real pleasure for me to be out celebrating excellence, and that's what we're here to do today with the Clinton Public Schools. You need to know this is the 3rd year in a row that I've been in Clinton, the 3rd year, and I want to tell you something. That is quite significant because you are only one of 9 districts in the entire state that has achieved this honor for 3 years in a row, and that puts you in the top 6% of all districts and schools in this state. So how about a round of applause for Clinton? So the other reason I'm kind of excited too is because we were able to honor Eastside Elementary this year as one of our National Blue Ribbon winners. You need to know that you are only one of 3 schools this year in Mississippi that was selected to be a Blue Ribbon school. And you also need to know that there's only 349 Blue Ribbon schools in the entire United States this year. So that lets you know a little bit more, and let me tell you a little bit more, put this into context for you. In the United States, there's about 130,000 schools. So think about that, 130,000 schools. And you are one of the Blue Ribbon winners out of that 130,000. So that puts you, in terms of the United States, in the top 0.3% of schools in the country. So that is quite an honor for this elementary school, and we are very, very proud of you. It was our pleasure to be able to nominate you. We're asked each year to nominate schools for Blue Ribbon Awards, and we did exactly that. Because we took a look and we know all the exceptional teaching and learning that's taking place here, and we wanted the nation to really be able to look out at Eastside Elementary and say, wow. So you have a lot to be very, very proud of. I also want to give a big round of applause for your principal. Is Ms. Hamill here? All right, let's have her stand up. That's right. And any teachers that are teachers at Eastside Elementary, would you stand up? They're all in the back. All right. Well, congratulations to you as well. So I want to talk a little bit about your district because Clinton is very special, as you well know, and there's a lot of statistics that we use in looking at our districts, but you also need to know that when we assign grades to districts and schools, there's a reason we do that. And we want to make sure that not only you, but families and communities really know what a great job your school is doing, and also preparing you, all of you students out there, for the future. So when a district earns an A, that's quite exceptional. And I think in a school earns an A, that's quite exceptional. And that's the reason we're here to brag on you, because you are the very best in the state. And that's something that you can tell your friends and your families about. And I'm glad that your superintendent mentioned that. Mississippi is no longer on the bottom. And that is a huge accomplishment for the teachers, for the students, for the leadership at the district level and at the school level. That is because of you and because of all of your hard work. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about why we do this, because one of the things that we look at when we look at assigning grades, and one of the things that we look at when we talk about children, we're talking about all children. So when your district earns an A or your school earns an A, it's not because of some children. It's not because of a few children. It's because this school has reached out and this district has reached out to each and every student, whether they're struggling in school, whether they need to be challenged. We talked about advanced placement. We've done an awful lot of that at our high schools, dual credit, dual enrollment. But it's because your district, your leadership here, has reached out to every single child. And to me, that's what makes this very special. You know, you have to earn this grade. Those of you that earn grades, you know earning an A is not easy. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of determination and a lot of trying and retrying. But I tell you what, if I was the principal of this school or I was a teacher in this school, I'd make sure everybody knew that I had a part in this A of this school and an A for this district. But let me tell you a few more things about Clinton Public Schools. Clinton is the #1 district in the metro area, and it is the 5th highest achieving district in the state. Clinton High School and Summerhill combined are the 5th highest achieving high schools in Mississippi and the only Jackson area high school in the top 5. Northside and Clinton Park are ranked in the top 10 elementary schools in the state, and there are more than 600 elementary schools in the state, so that lets you know where they sit. And test scores at Eastside Elementary, the word I'm going to use is staggering, because your growth this past year is enough to knock anybody's socks off. So let me just share with you, if you don't know this, that our 4th graders last year grew from 48% proficient last year to 78.2 proficient in just 1 year alone. And the 4th graders in math also jumped from 67.9% proficient in math to 83% proficient last year. But I'm also told by your superintendent that there were 109 students in this school that either achieved a perfect score in English language arts or math or both. And those are children I know that are sitting in this room today, because these are our 5th graders today who were tested last year. I was introduced to 2 of your students here in Clinton that also knocked it out of the park on the ACT. Perfect scores. So it's possible. Hard work, determination will absolutely get you there. These are spectacular achievements. I mean, these are something that you should just take such pride in as parents, as a community, because we are incredibly proud of you. And it's a joy to be able to be here as your state superintendent and recognize the leadership of this district, recognize the leadership in the schools, and also recognize leaderships in classrooms, because it happens to everybody. So how about we give everybody a round of applause, right? And I've got 2 teachers, I don't know if they're here or not today, who are Clinton teachers that are members of my teacher advisory council. Charlotte Walker, I don't know, and Ladriana Goins. Okay, well, let me tell you about these. No? Okay. She's in the classroom. Okay. Well, let her know I gave her a shout out, and both of them, because I have a teachers advisory council that I meet with regularly throughout the year, and I formed that for a very specific reason, and that is I wanted to hear teachers' voices. I wanted to hear directly from teachers about what was happening in the classroom, what can we do as a State Department to help them clarify things that they may have questions about. But I can't tell you how invaluable this is. I started out the first year I did this with about 40-ish, and now I have over 200 teachers in my teacher advisory council. So hats off to the representatives that you have from Clinton, because they bring a very strong voice to my teachers, to my teacher council. Students, let me say something about you today, because I think you're the reason that we're really here celebrating. It's your achievements that we are so proud of. And I think one of the things that I know that happens in these schools, because I get asked by the press a lot, what do you see that's common? And I'll tell you what I see. I see teachers that set very high expectations for children, and I also see children that exceed those expectations. So I'm a firm believer that you can do and will do what you set your mind to do, and what you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. It takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of determination, but you've got teachers here that support you, that will continue to support you. That's the reason this school district is as excellent as it is, because after you leave this elementary school and you move on, you're going to have another group of wonderful teachers that are going to support you, just like the teachers in the high school support their children. You know, I was also glad that your superintendent mentioned about Mississippi's story, because you are Mississippi's story. You are the reason that Mississippi is receiving the national recognition that we're receiving. You know, I was the president of the national organization this past year, and I did a lot of traveling and bragging, quite honestly. But people are saying, what is going on? What is it that makes Mississippi so special that the achievement gains are outpacing those of the nation? And I will tell you the first two things I say to them: amazing students that we have each and every day that come to school ready and willing to learn, and excellent teachers and leaders in those buildings and at the district level. I said, that's what it takes to achieve excellence. And so you should be very proud and very thankful, quite honestly, that you're in a school like this, that you're in a district like this that values education and wants to ensure that you're going to be as successful as you can possibly be and when you move on. We have accomplished a great deal here in Mississippi, but it is because of leaders, and it's because of children, and it's because of teachers. And so at this time, I want to give a special award. So Superintendent, Dr. Martin, if you'd come up. On behalf of the State Board of Education and on behalf of the Department of Education, I want to award this A rating award to the Clinton Public Schools. And Dr. Martin, I want to also say to you, you are blessed to have a superintendent of Dr. Martin's stature. I value his leadership. He serves on my superintendent's advisory council, and I always am so glad to know that he's going to be there advising me along the way. So a big round of applause for him. And if you wanted to say anything. Dr. Martin, did you want to say?
Thank you, Dr. Wright. Board members, either or. Ms. Hamill, remarks on blue ribbons?
I've never known a principal who didn't want to brag.
And I do love to brag. We are very, very proud of our students at Eastside. Of course, it could not be done without the schools that are before us, that get our children ready and send them to us ready to be excellent fourth graders. You know, we do a lot of things around Clinton Public Schools, but one thing I think is there is an excitement in the air all the time. It's not just about excellence, but it's about being excited about learning and about coming to work every day. And I think that that's what makes us different and sets us apart. And we're proud that we were able to represent the state at the Blue Ribbon Ceremony in Washington. All of our students watched it and were very excited when their principal got to be on TV. So, weren't you? Yes. So we are very proud, and we appreciate you coming and helping us celebrate, and thank y'all.
Boys and girls, I just want to let you know how proud we are of your hard work and proud of the hard work of everyone involved in our district in making this accomplishment. I'm asked, just like Dr. Wright is asked on the state level, I'm asked by people, what makes Clinton so successful year after year after year? And I think there's a couple of components that I want to mention real quick that I think make us a successful school district. First of all, our vision is excellence is the only option. And boys and girls, I know that you know that, and your teachers probably drill that in your heads, that if you're not going to do your best, then that's what we expect of you, is excellence, to shoot to be the best that you can be. We have the greatest teachers anywhere. Teachers, thank you for what you do on a daily basis. We have the greatest teachers anywhere. Dr. Wright, this past spring, I challenged a group of our math teachers, kindergarten through 5th grade. Our subscription was up for our textbooks. And so it was time to either adopt new textbooks or make a new decision. And we decided as a group, met with them and said, we don't need to adopt a textbook written by a textbook company. We have the standards. That's what we teach. We have one-to-one initiative with all of our teachers having devices and resources. With your help and hard work, we can create our own, for lack of a better term, textbook. And we set them loose this past spring, and we paid them over the summer. And I have been blown away at the resources and things they've pulled together. And I think our math scores, as great as they were, are going to show the benefit of that kindergarten through 5th grade because they've done that. And groups of teachers will continue to do that process. We're going to try to get out of the textbook business altogether and spend that money on resources for students in classes. And you can't do that everywhere. We can do that here because of the great teachers that we have in Clinton. Second component, we have great leadership from our principals, assistant principals, our directors. We have some of the finest people anywhere that have children's best interests at heart, and that is from the building level principal down to our partners with Pruitt Cleaning Services, who's a private contractor and keeps our buildings clean. That's to our cafeteria workers, that's our bus drivers. Everyone has children's best interests at heart all the way through. But principals, I appreciate your leadership and everything that you do on a daily basis. Eastside was a blue ribbon school this year, but Lovett was a blue ribbon school 5 years ago. And then Clinton High School was the first blue ribbon school in the state of Mississippi way back in 1982. And so we have 3 of our schools out of our 9 schools that have been designated as blue ribbon schools, which is quite an achievement. That goes to the leadership of our schools. Clinton next year will be celebrating its 50th anniversary as a separate school district. That will be next year. We'll have a lot of celebrations and things. And in those 50 years, I am only the 5th superintendent. And so the legacy of leadership and stability that has been developed, it has a great component to our success. The third component, I think, is the great support we have from our community. We just had a bond issue that passed at 95% passage rate, $25 million. And what struck me the day the voting took place, I kept going out to the polling area, not in the voting booth, but in the parking lot. And the number of people that came and voted that do not have children in our school district, it was tremendous. They were grandparents. They used to have kids. Some of them had never had kids in our school district, and they were coming out to support us. 95% pass rate is tremendous. A fourth thing is tremendous support from our parents. Every morning when you come here, y'all got here about 8:15. If you had gotten here at about 7:30, you wouldn't have been able to get here because of all the car riders and all the parents that were bringing their kids to school, the tremendous parental support. At our elementary schools, they raise over $40,000 in their PTO fundraisers, which is just unheard of. Finally, though, the last component, students, has already been mentioned, is you. We have some of the greatest students anywhere. And for our three that are here with us, Kevin Zang and Clark Hensley, that are here with us, guys, stand up. Perfect scores on the ACT. I think if I had taken the ACT 2 or 3 times, I wouldn't have gotten to a 36, I'm afraid. And then we have another student, Isaac Martinovich, that is not here with us this morning, that also scored a perfect score on the ACT. And then students, 109 of you in this room scored a perfect score either on the language arts test or the math test or on both. That is tremendous. Give yourselves another round of applause. But as wonderful as it is to celebrate, and we're having fun today doing that. Guys, I've got word for you. We've got to do it again. We've got to do it again. You know, Alabama is probably the epitome of the best football team in the nation year in and year out. But Alabama fans don't care that Alabama won the national championship last year. They want them to win the national championship this year. And if they don't win the national championship this year, this season is not going to be what they see as the best season. Well, boys and girls, we're an A district last year. We were an A district the year before that and the year before that. But we need to be an A district again this year. And that is determined by you and your hard work. You're taking some benchmark tests right now that are going to help us kind of see where you're at. We hope you're taking those serious and doing your best on those, because we need you to score another perfect score this next year on the 5th grade test. Can you do it? Can you do it? All right. That's the challenge. Is we've got to do it again. And it's not because we want to be an A. It's because when you score, that helps you. We know that you have succeeded and achieved the level that we want you to achieve. So thank everyone in the room for all that you do, for all your support, and that's what makes us a great school district. Thank you, Dr. Wright. We have some refreshments here in the back. We have our blue ribbon little placard there that you can see as well. And so, teachers, if you would help our students there to let our special guests kind of go first in the front of the line. And then students, we've got things for you as well. You can come in after our special guest, okay?